What is going on, everybody? It is Frank the Tank, and this is another player's perspective video. I did one like this the last time, and I shot that was when I shot 300 with the astrophysics, and here we are doing it again because I shot the 300 with the hustle wrap. So we're going to be looking at the entire hustle series video that I did with that hustle wrap 300 uncut and unedited. So without further ado, let us begin this. Here we go. So we're going to start things off with this hustle PBR. Based on what I saw, it was the most aggressive thing out of all the hustles that I was using. And honestly, if I had to compare this to anything, well, not necessarily a comparison, but if I had to say, like, say you're using like a phase 2 or something like that, this thing would be like if you took a phase 2 and put a very weak layout on it. So here we go. This thing is probably got to be one of the earliest reading hustles I've come across. The hustle camo definitely in comparison goes down further. This thing reads the lane very early, but the cool thing about this one is that it doesn't like really like pop off the spot like crazy. Like you can see that there. But yeah, this thing is like a very weak phase 2, if I had to say. I know probably not the best way to put that, but yeah, that's what I see. I mean, obviously we all know what the phase 2 does. Reads a lane kind of early. Naturally, I think the phase 2 reads early, and then it gets a very, very hard reaction compared to this thing. Nice and easy. So that's honestly what I can say about the hustle PBR, but. Yeah, it's funny because after the first frame, like I nine and then a miss. I think I missed the 10 pin. I just wasn't having it after that. So there we went with a 5 in a row already. And you know what? One thing that I didn't say in that hustle video that I think I should apologize for is notice how the color is like bluish, and that was because the camera that I was using, it was a new camera that I had to buy because my last one broke. I dropped it, unfortunately, and the lens was all messed up and it didn't want to like retract or anything. And this one, the previous owner, it was a used camera that I bought, by the way. It's the exact same camera that I used, or the same model. The camera, the previous owner, he must have left it with some certain kind of settings because whatever they were, it had this blue tint to it or something. So yeah, my bad about that. I didn't know that. When I was setting up the camera and I hit record, it looked fine, and then when I looked back at this and I compared it to another video, I noticed that it was colored this way compared to, yeah, see that? It doesn't have the blue tint right there. So yeah, I didn't notice that until after, but there was nothing I could do about it. So but luckily I managed to I didn't know how to get out of that, and then I just decided, you know what, screw this, I'm gonna put default settings on everything, and then I just put it brought the camera back to its original self, like with all the settings and the coloring and all that. So thank God for that. And then I just changed the stuff to my settings, and here we are. So yeah, the Hustle Ink, the Hustle PBR, and the Hustle Wine, I think, were the videos with this weird blue looking color. And here we go with the Hustle Ink now, the ever so famed Hustle Ink. And fun fact for any of you who didn't know about this Hustle Ink is that somebody, I believe, bowled a certified 900 series with a Hustle Ink. So that's nice. That shows you that this ball was definitely good. And one thing that kind of had me stunned was that, oh yeah, check out this nice split conversion there. One thing that had me stunned about this ball was how long it was in production. I mean, usually people tend to, not look at the low performance or the entry level bowling balls. Everybody wants the really cool colored looking stuff and the stuff that hooks a lot, and obviously these don't really do anything that crazy. Like you see that, look at that reaction, long, and then just a nice slow arc into the pocket. And yeah, that's people would tend to not look at that. They tend to ignore it. And yeah, surprisingly, this ball was in production, I think, for like 4 years, and then it finally bit the dust. But that's impressive for a low performance ball to be on the market that long. It goes to show you this Hustle Ink was really, really good, but sadly it's gone, and now I believe the substitute for that is the Hustle Camo. It's honestly the closest thing to it. So, um, yeah, this Hustle Ink though, I made the mistake of putting a layout that doesn't really work for me. The pin above the bridge, and then kicking the mass bias over to the right. I've come to realize that layout does not work for me because of how I let the ball go. I really get up to the side of the bowling ball, and then I go back up to the like. All right, picture a clock. Okay, I go to like about, I would say four. My fingers go to about 4:30, so my hand would really be on the side of the ball, and then I go back to about 10:30. So, yeah, that kind of release sets the ball up to really flare a little bit over the I think the ring finger, no, the middle finger hole. That sets the ball up to flare over the middle finger hole. And with this layout, it really flares. All the track flare goes over the middle finger, so that causes the ball to flare incorrectly. And I had to make some adjustments to that. And that's part of the reason why I go for the 85 by 4 1/4 by 50 layout more often than not now, because it works for me for how I let it go. Um, you know, it even it, when I let go of the ball, like when my hand gets too much to the side of the ball, that layout it still flares properly. All the track flare is still to the left of the middle finger hole, so thank God for that. But here we are now with the Hustle Wine, and it's a pretty good ball. I put the pin above the ring finger for that one, and probably not a good idea because, again, that problem with the track flare going over the middle finger hole. Yeah, that layout, because of how I let go of the ball, that layout and the pin above the bridge as well, those layouts only work good if I'm further left, and when I have to play straighter angles and I have those layouts on the ball, it will not work. And that's my fault because of how I let go of the ball. So I've obviously got to change the way I release it if I'm playing those angles. But yeah, this ball, I didn't really see any difference. I mean, it goes, well, I did see a minor difference, and you can see it here. I mean, the ball, it goes long as usual, as a Hustle should, but it really has more arc in comparison to the it has more arc in comparison to I don't even know what to compare it to, but I don't want to say it's as stronger than the Hustle Wrap because I put a weaker layout on the Hustle Wrap and it still had a very good reaction to it. I don't want to say like an equal reaction to the Wine, but it looked almost similar. So here we are now with the Hustle Camo, and this ball, like I said, it's the closest thing to a Hustle Ink. The only difference I would say is that I feel it's a little more responsive down lane, just a little more, not too much. And I decided to go for my 85 by 4 1/4 by 50 layout on this, and it worked out really well. I think I scored higher with this ball than I did with the Hustle Ink. I wasn't sure, but yeah, look at that. It looks like it wanted to. It looked like it wanted to read the lane earlier, but nope. It does what it usually does. It goes far and slowly arcs to the pocket. The scores would have been way higher on this one, but unfortunately, I blew that in the 10th frame. Nice pickup of the baby split there. Yeah, my form was a little bit off during this, but you know, I'm glad that I was able to at least keep it together. And I was a little further left than I usually am. And I think that's because I was playing on a lane that was slightly toasted. I mean, otherwise, how else would this ball get back, right? I mean, look at where I'm sliding, for Christ's sakes. It was because of this game that I actually thought that I could post a really, really high score with the Hustle Wrap. However, I wasn't thinking, all right, I could shoot 300. I wasn't thinking that at all. I was just thinking, okay, I could post a high game, and yeah, I don't know what happened there. The reaction just died, but I think the reason that happened was because I gave the ball, I unknowingly gave the ball a little bit too much of a forward roll. I didn't hook it, and it didn't get back. But here we go, the ever so famed hustle wrap with the 60 by 4 by 30 layout, which has also worked its way into being one of my top 5 layouts because after trying this layout on the Electrified Pearl, I almost shot 300 again, so I realized, okay, this layout clearly is something that I should keep if it's delivering these kinds of results for me. So, if any of you are wondering, I don't know if I put that there. I'm not going to rewind it, but what this layout does for a ball is it allows for the ball to get around the corner a lot softer, but you still get good continuation. So, if any of you are wondering what that does, now you know. And if that's what you think something if you think it's something that will work for you, it's something you're into, try it out. I mean, it worked for me, and I'm not really that great, despite what I have done. But yeah, when I shot that 242 with the Hustle Camo, everything felt easy, you know, and I felt like I had total control, and like I said, because of that, I felt like, okay, I know exactly what has to happen with this hustle wrap. I knew I couldn't be as standing in the exact same spot that I couldn't be lined up exactly where I was with the Hustle Camo. I knew I was going to have to move a few boards to the right because this ball obviously has the weaker layout, and also I knew this ball was going to go further down and it wasn't going to get back around the corner like it did with the Hustle Camo. So I think I moved like 2 boards to the right. I couldn't tell you exactly where I was standing because I don't remember. But if I had to guesstimate here, I was probably standing on 21, 22. The lanes were already messed up, but somehow I managed to figure this out. But yeah, 300 was not even crossing my mind. I just thought, okay, with the first 2, I was still unsure. But after this one, I thought, okay, you know what? I think I can do this. It was here. It was actually at this point where I thought, I think I can shoot like a really high game. I didn't think about shooting perfection until I got to the 5th strike. That's when I realized I think I could do this. If I just play this line, I saw the picture clearly. I painted it with that first throw in the first frame, and then by the third one, I saw the clear. I got a clear picture of what needed to happen, and I was like, I can do this. I can totally do this. If I just stay focused, repeat this shot, don't think about nothing else, I can do this. Luckily, the lanes were a little bit forgiving because I'm sure my shot wasn't 100%. My shot repeating was not 100%. I know for a fact that that's one thing I really suck at. That's house shot for you. So if I'm not mistaken, actually, let me see. I think I have the photo of it. Let me see here. This was done at 5:27. That final shot at 5:20. Well, not exactly at 5:27. It was done a couple minutes before that, but it was around that time. And yeah, you may be thinking, okay, so where the heck is everybody? I mean, it's almost 5:30 p.m. You think that the lanes would be filled up by then, right? Because usually when the place opens, the place is pretty dead. It takes quite a bit of time for the place to really get packed. And you may notice that it looks pretty empty. And the reason for that was because this was done on a Friday. And the funny thing is that by this time they shut 60% of the place down because that section right there where I'm at from from 25 and down to the left, all the way from 1 to 25, they shut those down and they re-oil them for Friday Night League, and that's also the league that I'm going to be in. So, yeah, everybody that came through got moved to the right side of the building, and like the last, I don't know, 8 pairs of lanes. The last, no, 8 pairs. The last 8 lanes, everybody got moved down to those. So anybody who came in and wanted to bowl would get moved to the right side of the building. And since I was already there before they shut down all these lanes and re-oiled them, yeah, they kept me there until I was done, and then that was it. So yeah, that's why it looks really, really empty. Seven in a row. You know, when I looked back at this and I saw what the ball was doing, it almost looked like as if there was like some kind of dry patch that was created by whoever was bowling on this lane before me. It looked like they created like a dry patch on like a certain part, like in the middle of the lane. Because I swear to God, I could be wrong here. I'm no expert at look at like this ball motion thing and how to read it, but I swear it almost looked like the ball would like catch friction or something a few times. Like, I swear to God. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I swear to God, it looked like as if there was some kind of dry patch. So I knew I had, like, I felt like I had to avoid that when I was doing this. And nice to know, though, that whoever was on this lane was breaking it down correctly and not just tossing their bowling ball all over the lane. So that was nice. I can tell you this, before this, because I did take like a practice game or two before I turned on the cameras to do the camo and this wrap. The front part, the very front part of the lane on the right side from like board 15 and all the way to board 1, it was gone. So I knew, like, okay, so whoever was playing here was playing down and in with God knows what, and they must have played a lot because the front part of the lane on that section, literally this right section of the lane, it was just so toasty. So I wasn't necessarily playing on a fresh lane when I did this video. And that's the thing about me, is if I'm going to do a review of a ball, I'm going to play on a 100% fresh lane or something that's at least, you know, not too toasted. You can't get an accurate ball review unless you're on a fresh lane. I mean, the only thing you can get out of doing a review on a toasted lane is seeing how a ball can handle when a lane has been toasted. That's really all you can get from that. But man, I just kept trying my best to do the same thing, and I didn't care if my form looked terrible. I focused more on trying to repeat the exact same shot. But yeah, it's at this point where I'm just like, you know, feeling like so shaky. Luckily, nobody was paying attention. It's funny because this lane is right in front of the, you know, the receptionist area where the employees are with the computer and everything. They were busy talking to each other. They weren't paying attention to me, and I thank God they weren't, because I'm still that kind of guy that when all eyes are on me, I get nervous. So thank God that no one was paying attention to me and that everybody was on the right side of the lane. So yeah, everybody was on the right side of the building doing their thing. And I was all alone right here on 18, isolated from everyone. At this point, I couldn't tell you which 300 had me more nervous. I know you might think that when I shot my first 300 with the astrophysics, I was probably the most nervous, more nervous there compared to this, but no. I think I was equally nervous here than I was with that first one, but here it is, the final shot. I thought I was going to screw that up. I really did, but luckily it just all worked out, but there it was. And still nobody was paying attention. And then I called out to Jesse, the manager, and like I told her like, look. And then she like freaking screamed, and like everybody started looking at it. Like everybody on the right side of the building started looking at us, like, what the heck happened? Like they like she and an oh yeah, and then my pro shop guy, he came over and like did he did that. I don't know, like I can good thing I can't read minds because like I feel like I could instantly tell. Like he was like big deal. I've got like 60 of those. He does. He has more than 6,300 games. So he just came over and was like, whatever, man. But there you go. But yeah, I don't know if you guys heard of that. But anyway, there we go. Yeah, everybody was like wondering what the heck was going on because they were flipping out. And then here, let me see if you guys can actually hear this. I'm gonna turn up the volume real quick. Kickoff 18. We hear from Frank the Tank with a perfect 300 game. I think that she, yeah, Jessie, like the manager, that was her. She picked up the microphone and told the entire place that I bowled 300, which I don't know why. I think she just did that for the hell of it because honestly, I don't. I know for a fact that they only pick up the microphone for like league announcements or when somebody does a 300 game, but she just picked it up and did that. I don't. I think she was just trying to be funny or whatever. I don't know, but that was funny. And yeah, a bunch of people were like, "Yeah, nice," and all that. It felt awkward, but because it was just practice. But hey, whatever. Uh, there you go, though. That was the second 300 with the hustle wrap on a somewhat toasted lane. So if you got, I don't think I revealed that in the original video without without my perspective. But there it is, and because of that, the ball I still have it, and it's still been working very nicely for me. So, and of course that layout as well. It's also been a great layout. But there you go. Not much else I can say other than that was the hustle wrap, the hustle camo, the wine, the PBR, the ink, all in one. It's it's a fantastic series, and you know what you. If you don't have a hustle, you need to get one because it is so good. It's clearly very, very good for house shot. It can handle when the lane breaks down. It can handle it really well. Uh, if you don't have one, then what the heck are you doing? But there you go. That was the 300 uncut and unedited done. So that's enough of that. I'm Frank the Tank. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching.